When I first became an owner-operator, I thought, man, this is gonna be good. Little did I know about the hidden costs, startup expenses, things that you don't think about. In this video here, we're gonna take a little look at a couple of the things that can help you out. Just a slight checklist of things that a bunch of us have put together that you might wanna look at. As a company driver, you're coming out of somebody else's truck, you've made that decision, and hopefully you've made the decision the right way. And when I say the right way, and this is my opinion, but I feel that before you become an owner-operator, run as a company driver and get some experience and learn. Ask a lot of questions. You're coming out of the company truck and now you're gonna drive your own. Well, there's some things obviously that you're gonna need to do. The first thing, before you even think about buying a truck, because everybody gets all excited and they start jumping on Kijiji and the Auto Trader and Marketplace and they start looking at trucks and all the shiny that goes with it. Before you even think about that, your finances. Make sure your finances are in order. And what I mean by that, finances is basically three parts, okay? First of all, make sure that you've got a credit rating. The worse your credit rating is, the higher interest you're gonna pay on any kind of loan or lease you're gonna do on the truck. The second thing is your down payment. You know, if you're buying a $60,000 truck, your down payment is a minimum of $6,000, 10%. Some companies want a little bit more, but you can usually squeak through with 10%. You got a $100,000 truck, it's 10,000 bucks. Do the math, whatever it is, 10% is the minimum that you're gonna need for a down payment. And then the third part of that is your savings. I wish somebody would have told me this when I started, okay? I wasn't told any of this. I myself personally would not come out of a company truck in the year 2021. I would not come out of a company truck right now and become an owner-operator unless I had $20,000 in the bank sitting there. There's no use for it. You've got no use for it. That 20 grand is there to float you through the first year of your business because of the costs and breakdowns and whatever, but you need 20 grand. Anybody says that you need less than 20 grand or they did it, I did it with 1,500 bucks, good for you. I myself personally, 20,000 bucks is the number, and I wouldn't do it with anything less. You gotta remember, you're buying a used truck. Unless you've won the lottery and you're buying a new truck and you've got, 5 years worth of bumper to bumper warranty and whatnot like that, but chances are you're buying a used truck. You're gonna do the very best you can when you buy your truck or you purchase your truck to have it inspected, but there's always stuff. And I'm gonna give you an example. I just bought a new truck. I didn't buy a brand new truck, I bought a used truck. I went through all the steps I've put out there in the other videos. I had it inspected, I took it for the road test, I did everything that I was supposed to do. The truck passed with flying colors, everything was good. It was the truck that I wanted, the specs that I wanted, it was just everything. I paid for the truck. I take the truck home, I notice I've got a little bit of an oil leak coming out of the turbo. By the time I got the truck back to the shop, the turbo was gone. I haven't turned a single mile, a paid mile in this truck yet, and I have to put a new turbo on this truck. That 20 grand is there in the event that you break down and your truck is on the side of the road or it's in the shop and you've got expenses to pay and you're not earning money. It's fallback money. It's your insurance. That's what that 20 grand is. And if you've only got 5 grand, I can tell you right now, you replace a big ticket item on your truck, diffs, motors, whatever like that. If you've got 5,000 in the bank, you can spend that in 90 seconds. So you need 20 grand. And that's what that is there. It is your... Didn't we do this last time?
You drunken yet or what?
No, I'm making a video and the phone just went up and off and interrupted us. This is my buddy Jeremy. Now Jeremy works for another company that I used to work for, and I've known Jeremy for a long time and he's one of my best friends. This guy's been trucking for, what do you got, Jer, 25?
Almost 24.
Almost 24 years. And god damn it, he's the dumbest I've ever met.
I don't get paid for my brains.
Yeah, I don't get paid. He doesn't get paid for his brains. He's been trucking a long time. In your opinion, how much money do you need in the bank before you even turn a wheel as an owner-operator? Minimum.
I agree. I think 20 grand is probably a good number. Because I'll be honest, like I started out, I didn't have nothing. I put the money down on the truck and I had about 2 grand in the bank. And it was stressful.
How many years would you recommend that I drive as a company driver before I make the decision to move over to become an owner-operator?
Minimum 5.
Minimum 5. I agree, and that's my number as well. I say 3 to 5, but I go with 5.
That'll give you a good indicator of what you're up against. As far as road hazards, breakdowns, shippers, receivers, waiting time, downtime, like hours of service. In that 5 years, try to haul as much different kinds of freight as you can between tank, van, flat, reefer, right? To get an idea of what is involved in each aspect of it in order to be knowledgeable when you go out and purchase your truck. Okay, where am I going to put it? What's the most profitable line should I be in right now? Where am I making the most money?
Hey guys, Ronan here. I wanted to personally thank you for watching this video. I've been recruiting drivers for about 15 years now, and I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of how drivers are getting mistreated by their current employers and how they're being taken advantage of by our current industry providers. So I wanted to create a channel in order to unite North American drivers, share my knowledge, educate drivers to become more successful, and hopefully one day to make a positive impact on our industry. Some concerns that I have in our industry revolve around how drivers are being mistreated by their current employers, safety on the road, parking for drivers, and driver compensation. When we unite, we can make a difference. This video on this channel is not meant for recruiting purposes. As me and my team continue to produce high quality and interesting videos, I do need your support in order to make a difference in this North American market. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you're enjoying the video you're watching, give it a thumbs up. And now, back to the video.
I've said this before, it's not a matter of if you're gonna take a breakdown or you're gonna have a malfunction or a problem, it's a matter of when. It is gonna happen. And you certainly don't wanna be struggling, especially within the first year or even the second year. You want it to go as smooth as you possibly can. If you can pick off as many of these things as possible, the better your first year is gonna be. Do 5 years of driving as a company driver and 20 grand in the bank. When you've got both of those, you're ready to make that flip. When you've got the feeling and you know that it's right, make the decision. Now you're gonna buy your truck. There's a whole checklist, and it's as long as my arm, of what you're gonna do when you go to purchase a truck. And actually, we're gonna do an episode on that a little farther down the line here. And we're gonna give you a real detailed idea of what you're looking for at the dealership when you're dealing with the sales guy. You know how much you wanna spend, you know what your budget is. So now you gotta find the truck. You wanna be comfortable? You want it to be a truck that you want. A truck that nobody wants to drive around a truck and go, oh, this piece of crap, I don't know why I bought. You want it to be something that you're gonna, have a little pride in your ride. You wanna have a nice truck. So you want to make sure it's the truck you want. Make sure it's spec'd out. I've said this before. A truck that is not spec'd out properly is going to cost you money because you're not going to get the fuel efficiency, and you're not going to get what you need that truck to do for the job you're doing. Make sure to see if you've got any kind of warranty. In some cases, are you gonna go old school truck? Are you gonna go with a new truck? When I say old truck, I mean anything that's pre-emission. So I think it would go back as far as anything older than a 2007. So 2006 and older would be an old school, but I mean it's an older truck. The emissions systems started to come in with just the EGR. I think they came in somewhere around 07, and then it took off from 07, 08, 09, then DEF and all that. So when you go with a pre-emission truck, you can probably pick one up a little cheaper, but you might have some other issues because there's gonna be more miles. So you're gonna have to look real carefully when you buy a pre-emission truck. You're gonna wanna find one that's already had the motor rebuilt, the trans rebuilt, the diffs rebuilt, all of the major components that are on that truck, you're gonna want them all rebuilt. You don't wanna go buy one that's got 2 million miles on it and then you're doing all of that, because then your $55,000 or $65,000 investment is now $100,000 if you have to replace all of that. Or you're gonna go with the new trucks. New trucks would be anything with the new emissions on it. I wouldn't recommend any truck from 2007, 2008, up to 2015. Those were the learning years for the emissions. So all of the trucking manufacturers were in there was a great big learning curve, and believe it or not, it's still going on because they haven't got it right. But the worst years for those emissions trucks were the first 5 years. So from 07 to 13, 14, even 15. Some manufacturers started to get a little better in the 14, 15 years, but I wouldn't touch anything from 07 to 15. I'd go 16, 17, 18, and depending on your budget, what you're gonna do, you might go up to 2021, 2019. It's entirely up to you, but you have to figure that out. Are you going old or are you going new? That's your decision. What company are you driving for? You're working for a company. Obviously, you're driving their truck. Are you going to stay with them? Do they pay their owner-operators the same or more? Are they on market? Do they have the same price? Go f yourself. So obviously you're gonna look around. There is something to be said about loyalty, and I do believe in that. But it doesn't mean that if you're making this amount and yet it's below the market and other owner-operators at other companies, it doesn't mean that you can't move. You need to go where the money is. And I don't mean chasing pennies. You don't chase a 2-cent raise. If you're making $1.75 a mile here and this guy over here is paying $1.77, you're not moving your truck. But if you're making $1.75 a mile and this guy's paying $2.25 a mile, then yeah, it might be worth it for you to move your truck. You need to make that choice, but you also need to do the homework and do some investigating and find out what fair market price is to get paid. This is just a quick side note. If you're with a company and you've decided you're gonna stay with that company as an owner-operator, you like the package, it all works out. A lot of guys, they'll come out of their company ride while their new truck is being brought on to the company. You've purchased the truck, you've got the truck, you've taken delivery of the truck. Stay in your company ride, right? Stay in that ride. Do not get out of that ride until they say to you, okay, the new truck is ready to go and you can turn a wheel in that one. It'll save you that gap because a lot of times it takes anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks to get a truck in with a new company. You got to get the plates, the decals, the insurance, you know, the book, all of your authorities, your stickers, your license plates. All of that takes time. You don't just snap your fingers and it all just magically appears. It takes the company some time and it can take up to 2 weeks. So stay in your company ride. When they give you the call saying, okay, the decals are on it, the plates are on it, it's insured, you're ready to go, bring the company ride in, make your switch over and take off as your owner operator. I'm not saying a lot of guys do it, but for some reason, a lot of the guys that I know, they came out of the company ride and went, oh, right, like I'm gonna take a couple of days off before I get into my new ride. And next thing you know, they're off for 2 weeks and they're going like, I have to make a truck payment and I haven't turned a wheel yet. So just stay in your ride. As I said earlier at the beginning of the video, we were talking about costs, hidden costs that are incurred that people don't think about, that I'm gonna be an owner operator. Okay, so now you've bought your truck, you've got delivery, you're ready to go, it's in the yard, you've got your plates, your stickers, all you gotta do is turn it on and go, right? Well, there are some costs, and these costs are what it would cost me. I'm a flatbed driver. And now, depending on the company you work for, some companies yes, some companies no, but I've worked for both. I've had to work for a company where I've had to pay for all of my own equipment. As a flatbed driver, I need tarps. Now, 2 sets of tarps. I need a set of steel tarps and I need a set of lumber tarps. I can go on Kijiji or I can go on Marketplace and I can buy used equipment. And all of this you can buy used. You don't necessarily have to buy new. But let's just say you're buying new. A new set of tarps, 1 set of tarps, and this is for a 2 tarp system. You can buy 3 tarp systems, but this is for 2 tarps to cover 53 feet. Okay, you're looking at $2,100. And that's not top of the line. We're just talking like your standard 9-foot drop lumber tarp, $2,100. You need 2 sets of tarps. You need steels and lumbers. So now you're at like $4,200. Let's say $4,000. Just in tarps. You got chains and binders. I had to supply all my chains and binders. So I needed a minimum of 12 chains and 12 binders. I'm looking at another $1,200. Once it's all said and done, I'm $1,200. Now these are new costs. Okay, again, I said you can get these used, and I have actually gone off and bought used pieces here and there, and I got no problem with it if that's what you want to do. Being flatbedder, you got your miscellaneous, you got your corner boards, your bungees, you know, your ratchets and everything like that. You're looking at, you're into it for another $800. And then that's just your equipment. Now you've got your truck, you're gonna be doing layovers, you're gonna be sitting down, so you're probably gonna want a TV. You can go to Walmart and buy a cheap TV for $150, or you can, you know, your TV can go anywhere from $150 up to $600-700, depending on what you want to put in your truck. You need a power inverter. I just put a brand new power inverter in my truck. A 3,000 watt inverter cost me $350. Now I got it on sale, and that was $350. It was $348 and some odd cents. That's taxes in. So you're $350 for a power inverter. Some guys might want to go all balls to the wall, and you go with an APU, an auxiliary power unit. Now that'll give you your air conditioning, your heating, and supply power to your truck when the engine's shut off. APUs, they start anywhere from $10,000. I think it's about the cheapest one on the market out there, and they can run you right up to about $15,000. So you're $10,000 to $15,000 for an APU. Does your truck come with a fridge? Some do, some don't. I had to put a new fridge in the truck that I just bought. Luckily for me, being an older truck and the fridge is not one of the new modern styles, it was $700. If I had to put a new fridge in my Volvo, that's $1,800. I know exactly how much that is. $1,800 for a fridge for those Volvos, for the big one, for the 780s and the 730s. $1,800. That's ridiculous for a fridge. Do you have a GPS? You probably do. You're gonna take it out of your account. But if you don't, you can, a good GPS is gonna run you bottom end GPS, 150 bucks. Top of the line GPS, you're $700. That kind of stuff I suggest you don't buy used. There's too many scams out there right now. People on Kijiji, they've got a beautiful Rand McNally Overdrive Pro 8. They'll sell it to you for 400 bucks. It's only been out of the box for 3 weeks. Yeah, baloney. You get it and it's gone, it's shot, you've lost your 300 bucks. It's not worth it. Does your truck have a CB? You're a couple $100 for a CB. You need a printer, unless you're my buddy Jeremy, who likes to stop at truck stops and pick up his own ACEs and ACIs and pay the $2 and get a free coffee. And I myself personally don't. I like to print off my stuff in the truck. You're what, 40 bucks, 50 bucks for a printer? It doesn't have to be top of the line. I've got a little HP and all it does is it prints off a couple pages a day and that's all I need it for. Flatbedding, you need safety equipment. Well, even if you're a van driver, you still, a lot of places you go into, warehouses, whatnot, you need safety boots, you need a hard hat, you need reflective wear, you need work wear, so you could probably chalk that, let's say 500 bucks between boots, vests, whatever, your safety equipment. Say another 500 bucks. Now, if you add all that up, some of these prices or costs I average, because let's just say it could be between this price and that price. I just took the average. But for a flatbed driver, you're looking at probably another $19,000. And that's just miscellaneous equipment, TVs, inverters, whatever. You're looking at about 19 grand. Now, you don't need that all up front. You can pay that, drive for a couple of months, then buy a TV. Drive a couple more months, then buy this. But if you're gonna buy all of that right out the hop, you're looking at about 19 grand. If you're a van driver, you can knock the equipment off, you're down to 15,200 bucks. And that'd be for a van driver. Your costs are obviously gonna be a little less. You don't have to buy straps, chains, binders, and all that kind of crap. But you're still looking at 15,000 bucks if you're gonna stroke the check for all of that up front. And then there's always the one situation or the odd company out there where you're gonna run on percentage. When you run percentage, most of the time, you're responsible for your plates, your stickers, your decals, your insurance. I know from personal experience in Canada, now this is Canada. US drivers, I obviously know that your insurance rates and the way things are done in the States is different, and you guys pay so much less than we do for your truck insurance. But my truck insurance on a 2014 Volvo, 18 months ago at the company I was at before, my truck insurance just for the truck was $19,840. All in for truck and trailer, I was almost $24,000 for truck and trailer, and that's a year for your insurance. And then you're looking at your plates. PRP plates in Ontario are $3,500 a year. You're responsible for your New York Hut sticker, you got your IFTA stickers, and these are all costs that nobody tells you up front. They're just gonna go, oh, by the way, we need your insurance, we need this, we need that. And if somebody doesn't tell you this up front, it's talk about sticker shock, it's ridiculous. So this was just a quick startup, and none of these numbers are written in stone. They're gonna change depending on who you are and what you're doing. If this is what you wanna do and these help you, I'm glad. I'm out of things to say. I'm done, out, gone. Have a good one. If you like what you see, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to give us a like.